lots of thoughts trying to come out at the same time. But,
No, it's an important step forward for Epping, because actually what we've got here is an interim injunction, and it means by the 12th of September, subject to appeal, as I said, the hotel should be empty. So it's a really important step forward. What we call upon the government for all along has been talk to us and let's move this forward. We always knew the Bell Hotel was the wrong location because of its close proximity to schools and other parts of the community. It was never going to work out, and we did repeat that to them on several occasions.
Does this set a precedent? What is your message to other councils across the UK looking at this as an example of what they could do?
Well, the important thing for other councils is every council must look at their own planning policies and the reasons behind what's happening. So I would say to every council, consider your own planning policies. This is not a victory today. This is a ruling for common sense.
Finally, Councillor, what is your message to the protesters in Epping who may well see this as you say, a victory or a small step in the right direction? What's your message to them? And did you take into account their strength of feeling when you went about this case?
I took into account the strength of feeling of residents in Epping Forest. My local people have been contacting me directly and discussing this issue over the recent weeks, and I've been on the side of local people from day one. That's the most important thing. Yes, if people continue to want to protest or demonstrate outside the Bell, please do it peacefully and please do it calmly. What we don't want is to have people thinking this is some great victory today. This is just a judgment for common sense.
Well, isn't this a turn up for the books? A High Court judge finally says what everybody in Epping already knew. The Bell Hotel stopped being a hotel the moment it was filled with 140 single men shipped in by the Home Office. You couldn't get a pint or a ploughman's there anymore, but you could get your fair share of police vans and riot helmets outside the door. Some Best Western that turned out to be. For months, locals were told to shut up, pipe down, stop being far right for daring to question why their town centre had suddenly been transformed into a holding facility. Then when one resident raised concerns, the reply from the government was essentially, shush, diversity is our strength. Meanwhile, alleged assaults were happening inside the very same building. But remember, you're not allowed to notice. Now the courts have called time. The Bell Hotel Asylum experiment is over, at least for now, and the locals have been proven right. The council's leader was very quick to say, don't celebrate too much. Well, forgive me, but if you spent weeks watching your own town overrun and your streets turned into a protest zone, you might just allow yourself a pint and a cheer. Of course, the government's line is the usual. We've inherited a broken system. Lessons will be learned. Translation is, we'll carry on moving people from one unwilling town to another, hoping nobody notices until the next court case blows up, and when people do notice, we'll brand them extremists. This isn't an immigration policy, it is a travelling circus, only without the clowns, unless you count the Home Office. At least the circus packs up and leaves when the show's over. The people of Epping stood firm and they've won the first round, and the message is clear. Ordinary communities won't be ignored forever, and they're sick of being treated as collateral damage in Westminster's asylum farce.
Good day, sir!
You're still here? Well. This is what being right wing must taste like. If you want to subscribe to Just Jake, subscribe over there. And if you want to watch more videos from whatever the hell this is underneath it,